Okay, well, welcome to TechNest, everybody. This week we have Austin Petrie with us. He is the founder of Viola Ballet and the co-founder of Rollin and Bowlin. He helped create and grow his mom's YouTube channel to nearly 100,000 subscribers with nearly 17 million views. And then in 2017, he started his own branding journey, which he had 10,000 plus followers on Instagram by creating short informational videos about how companies got started. And then in 2019, he started on TikTok, which he grew his following to almost 45,000 followers with almost 5 million likes in just his first year. And so, Austin, we are so excited to have you here today. I will turn the floor over to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the intro, Devin. And so happy and glad to meet all of you. I'm located here in Fort Worth, so it's always great to meet other people in the area, especially entrepreneurs and people, in the legal realm, IP realm, just all over the place. So it's awesome that you guys are doing this, and hopefully I'll be a part of this more often as a participant as well. So as Devin said, part of my journey started when I was very young, when my mom, who was an astrologer, it's a very unique background, but she was trying to gain traction with her business, and YouTube was just kind of growing at this time, and we were like, let's get you on YouTube, let's try it, let's try this platform, see where it goes. And that, just her being on YouTube, completely changed her life. About 90% of her clients come through YouTube from her YouTube channel, where she almost has 100,000 subscribers and makes a substantial income off of it as well. But today I want to focus in on TikTok, because when I joined Instagram, I was successful in growing my Instagram years ago, and I grew it for about a year, and I really regretted not joining early, because there was years and years where all my friends were telling me, you need to get on Instagram, everyone's on it, and I just refused. I did not want another social media platform to distract me, which I'm sure a lot of you feel that way about TikTok. And then once I got onto Instagram, I thought, I completely regret not joining this earlier, because once you join something pretty early, you can get traction easier. And so I made a vow to myself, once I see the next social media platform, I'm going to hop on it as quickly as I can. And then TikTok came, and there will be plenty of more in the future. And so I want to share my screen now, and I will dive into really the meat of what I think I've learned from TikTok. Can everyone see my screen? Okay. I want to dive into just some of the quick facts of what I've learned from my experience that you can immediately start using once you download the app. And it's also, a lot of it's pretty relevant to all social media apps in general. But first, I want to start with some facts about the user base of TikTok, about how many people are using it on a daily basis. 9 out of 10 users use the app multiple times per day. So the reason why I'm telling you some of these facts is because it might be, a reality check or a gut punch to you guys, where you're like, okay, if 9 out of 10 users are using the apps multiple times a day, and then people are spending 52 minutes per day on TikTok, that is valuable time that you can be marketing your business to these people. And it's pretty insane to see that a lot of these users are going onto the app multiple times a day, 3-4 times a day for well over an hour. And then I think TikTok gets a reputation of only being young people, and majority of it is. But if you notice, in the past couple of years, if you look at the data, right now, nearly 50% users are ages between 10 and 29. But if you looked at that a year ago, it was about like 65%. So you can see that the older age groups are actually joining TikTok at a pretty rapid pace. And so TikTok is becoming almost like another platform like Instagram, where everyone is going to be there. So a lot of people I know are saying, well, I'm not going to put my product on there because I don't want to, my product doesn't appeal to 12-year-olds. Well, that's not the case. And it's trending to where everyone's going to be a part of TikTok. And interestingly enough, TikTok has 56% male users and 44% female users. And so that's something to consider potentially if your product does sway to one gender or another, because with Instagram, it actually has more female users than male users. So with that said, like I like I said, I'm just going to dive into the meat of how I grew my TikTok, and hopefully you can take these into consideration, and we'll do questions after and everything. So the number one thing I would say to grow TikTok, to be successful on TikTok, is the number one thing people do not want to hear. And it's you have to post every day, and you have to post potentially twice a day. And that's something that I vowed to myself that I was going to do. I posted every single day about fun facts. So it started with fun facts about companies, because I love how companies started, entrepreneurship, and then it grew to celebrities and other things. And you can see here's a little screenshot of one of my videos where I did these fun facts, and this almost got 3 million views, almost 500,000 likes, and people absolutely loved it. And they were waiting for my videos on a daily basis because I was following a schedule. So every day I would post the same times, and potentially twice a day, sometime in the morning and then sometime at night. And people would follow and wait for those posts to come up. So posting every day is really important, and following a schedule is really important. And with TikTok, it honestly is a numbers game. It's not like YouTube where, you know, I don't want to say quality doesn't matter, because it absolutely does. But the TikTok algorithm is so random that if you put out 100 videos, one of them is going to potentially go viral. Maybe not go viral in the sense that it might get up millions of views, but it increases your likelihood of going viral. You have no idea which ones are going to go viral. And as you can see here in this video, this was the video I did last second, did not have good lighting, did not prepare very well, and it was my best video to date. Another thing is following a theme. So I know we have IP attorneys in here, we have people who have inventions. So if you kind of focus in on that theme, like I did fun facts, and I could grow it to whatever industry, to people, to companies, to food products, to whatever, and then I can kind of broaden the scope of it later. But following a theme, people knew me as the fun facts guy. And so once you get that, people will know what they're getting into, and they will want to follow you for that. Making content you enjoy, it sounds kind of cliche to do something you're passionate about, etc. But this is actually something that really affected me, because I burnt myself out. I was not really enjoying doing these fun fact videos. Like, in all honesty, doing these videos about this TikTok celebrity didn't really interest me, but I did it because people told me that's what they wanted. They were requesting, can you do fun facts about this celebrity? And those were my best videos, but I didn't enjoy it. And so from the start, to make sure that you're making content that you actually enjoy will help you grow, because it's not going to feel like you're working. But with that said, I actually did help and hire freelancers to do this, because it's a lot of work to create organic and unique content every single day. And so I actually had someone who made my script for me. So they gave me the fun facts, they did the research, they gave it to me. And then I would just film for about 5 minutes a day. And then I would send that video to someone else who would edit the video for me. And they would even post for me. And so I really didn't do that much besides just reading from a script, and it's my face, and I'm still building my brand. But I think a lot of people think I have to do everything. I have to make the video and then I have to edit, and you really don't. And I was paying about $20 to $30 a week for like for probably 4 videos. And so I was paying like $5 a video. You can really get a good deal out of it, and you can get freelancers on websites like upwork.com or fiverr.com, Fivver. You can find freelancers who are absolutely willing and excited to work with you. And one thing I've learned, and I'll go through these quickly, I don't want to take up too much time, but one thing I learned just as a business owner, as we work with influencers, both on TikTok and on Instagram, as a business owner, and to support and promote our products on their social media channels, oftentimes they'll require us to spend thousands of dollars just to make one post. And you actually do not have to spend money on influencers unless you have it, unless you have a budget for marketing that you're willing to spend a lot. But I would highly recommend, and this is what we've done with our businesses, to not spend money and to send the product or to talk with that influencer and say, hey, would you post about us whether it's a product or about my business, if I can give you something in return. So we send our product for free to a lot of these influencers, put no pressure on them to post. And we've seen a greater growth in business, organic growth from those influencers and sales directly from those influencers posting when they actually support the product and they weren't paid to do it. And so for example, last week we had someone called Define Dish. They're a pretty big influencer in the food and beverage and healthy living and kind of like the young moms blog influencer type space. And she has 600,000 followers, New York Times bestseller. We didn't pay her at all. And usually she costs at least $5,000, and we just sent her free product and she liked it and posted about it, and it resulted in great sales for us. Next, about this vertical content, specifically for TikTok, it's not like YouTube. You can't just post stuff from Facebook, stuff from YouTube and throw it on TikTok. You have to make specific content for TikTok, which again, people don't want to hear. It takes time and you have to be dedicated if you really want to perform on TikTok. And some other little things I'll say is to add subtitles to your videos. A lot of people are watching these videos with mute on. They're not listening to the audio. And so if you can see on the screenshot that I have here, making the subtitles, people can really follow along. And you can also throw text up at the very beginning of your video, and people will immediately understand what they're watching and it'll kind of get their attention. And then getting followers engaged. I noticed when I made these posts about celebrities, one of the fun facts was when they were born and their astrological sign. And people loved that because they could relate to it and they could engage. And I bet you out of these 2,400 comments, I bet you 1,000 of them were people saying, oh my gosh, I have the same birthday as this person, or oh my gosh, I'm a Libra too. So just thinking about how to engage with them, with your followers, and also how to make relatable content where people can comment and say, hey, I also have this problem, or oh my gosh, thank you so much. I didn't know I could do this in my financial scenario, or IP attorney, anything along those lines. And then finally, with TikTok, you can use trending songs. It'll have the most popular songs, and you can actually use those on your posts, and that will help boost your posts. So those are my top 10, like just meet how I grew on TikTok. That might have been overwhelming, just putting out that list. So I want to open the floor to questions. And if anyone has specific questions about this top 10 or specific questions about their specific business and how I can grow on TikTok, I'm happy to answer any and everything.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put a spotlight on myself. And then Austin, if you want to, would it be possible if we could share these slides with everybody who attended? Because that is some really good information. Okay, cool. I got a couple responses from people wanting to do that as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, perfect. Okay, cool. Well, you can leave this up. We could take it down. We'll just do some questions and kind of go all over. But my first question is, you had different industries that you were trying to grow on different platforms. You're, a founder, you're an entrepreneur, you have multiple different companies, and then you did these fast, fun facts on TikTok. How does your strategy change based on, what kind of company you have that you're trying to promote?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it really depends, of course, what you do in your profession will change the type of content that you're releasing. And so I was doing these fun facts, and to be honest, it really wasn't leading one way to my businesses or anything. It was more for just self-promotion as an entrepreneur, just to get my name out there. And so, for example, my mom, with her, she does astrology, and it's a very niche, profession to have. But she just went on there and posted every single week things that she's learned in astrology and teaching others. And people then saw her as a professional in that field. And so if they wanted to get their charts done or wanted to learn more about astrology, they would go to her. So it's a tough question to answer, because it all depends on what that person does. And then you go from there, and you can do kind of make a strategy from there. Like you said earlier, real estate, there's a lot of different routes you can take with just touring a mansion, and people like to see that. Or you can tour something and say, this is the price. And people are like, wow, in my area, like I can't get that type of house for that price. And for IP attorney, I've seen a lot of people on TikTok go on and say, did you know that if you had this type of intellectual property on this product and you made $1 million, you would make this amount of money. Or if you sold a million products, like this is what you would make. And just like little kind of quick facts that people latch onto and they find it surprising.
Cool. Yeah. And I know one of the really fun things of TikTok is how the sending, people send a lot of TikToks to each other. And so anything that catches their eye that they think somebody else would find interested. I mean, I don't know if we have any numbers on it right now, but I know it's one of those platforms where even more than Instagram or Facebook that people share so much more. Yeah,
absolutely. And that helps like with the algorithm. If you have a post that is shared a lot or has a lot of comments, like that's more important than someone liking it. And that will boost your post even more to more people. And if people rewatch it, that's another big thing. If people rewatch the same video twice, then that will boost your post a great deal.
Awesome. Let's see. Tennille, I saw you raised your hand. Let me allow you to unmute. And if you want to ask a question, go ahead.
Okay. So my question is, I'm a virgin when it comes to social media, period, especially TikTok. So do you follow with TikTok, or do people follow you? Like, how do you get the following, I should say? Like, is it something you seek, or is it just putting the content out and then people just start following you?
That's a great question. So similar to like an Instagram, you can follow. Are you familiar with Instagram?
Somewhat, yeah.
You can follow people and they can follow you. Mm-hmm. So I never went out there and followed people. I never really like watched as much content as I was creating it. So you can open up the TikTok app and you can start creating. You can just film yourself doing something and you can post it out there to the world, and people can start following you immediately. And you don't have to follow anyone. It's not a requirement that you have to follow them. So anyone can follow you. And the beauty of TikTok that people really like it is because a lot of people who aren't famous, Instagram famous or influencers, they go viral. And so you can post your first video, it could get 1 million views and just like that for no reason. Like no one has the answer.
So are the hashtags what's bringing people, or is it just popping up in the feed? Is there like a algorithm,
Yeah, so both. So they do have an algorithm, and people might say that they completely know the algorithm. They figured out the algorithm. That's not the case. It's always changing, and it's just, they kind of keep it secretive for a reason. But the first thing, when you open TikTok, the very first thing you see is a video, a random person's video. And at the top, you can kind of toggle between people that you follow and watch their videos, or just random. And you can explore and discovery, and you can just see these random videos of different people. Or you can search by hashtag and you can see, okay, I want to look at hashtag food, and then it'll only show you videos of it.
Okay, gotcha.
And then let's see, Serena, I see your hand up. Let's go to Leah real quick, and then we'll do Serena next. So Leah, go ahead.
Thanks, Devin. Thank you, Austin. That was fantastic. Thank you. I have several questions.
Yeah.
One, how long do you recommend your TikTok to be? Or is that just depending on what your content is going to be? I know that people don't want to watch more than, I don't know, a couple minutes.
Yeah, so that's the thing with TikTok. You say a couple minutes, people don't want to watch seconds. So all of my videos I did 3 facts in 15 seconds. So it was like quick. And I noticed that my shortest videos, if I ever went past 15 seconds, they didn't do as well.
Right.
So people just want to see it quick. And like I said earlier, that rewatch, if someone rewatches your video again, it's really important to boosting your post. So if it's 15 seconds, chances are someone might miss something the first time and they'll watch it again, and that helps your content. But with that said, if you make a longer video and you have someone watch 100% of that video, that will help you a lot too. But it's really difficult to keep someone's engagement, especially the people who are on this app, keep their engagement for more than 15 to 30 seconds.
That's great. And I appreciate your comment about following a schedule. I watch some YouTubers and I'm glad that they do that, because I know when they're going to post content.
Exactly.
The frequency, I was wondering, do you like pre-record? Like, do you batch a bunch of recordings, and that way you don't have to be like jumping in and out of what you're doing 2 times a day or however many times you post?
Yeah, that's a great question, because that's something like I don't want to mess up my schedule. So I would film every Sunday and I would make enough content for 2 weeks, and then I would send it to my editors and they would edit it, and then I had content for 2 weeks. So then sometimes they would even post it for me. Other times I would post it most of the times I would post it myself. And so I just had like a timer that I would do every day. I just go in there, click post, and I would kind of get all the posts ready, and it wouldn't be, I'm not filming myself every single day and then having to edit every day. It would just be a pain.
Yeah, that's great. And then finally, do the songs cost when you're like, is there a little fee associated with using the songs, or that's just part of being a part of TikTok?
I think TikTok pays for those rights, so it doesn't cost you anything.
Okay, great.
It doesn't cost you anything. Don't quote me on that. I know there's some attorneys in here, so I don't know who pays for the music, but you don't. I know that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you so much.
Let's see, Serena, you have your hand raised. Do you want to go next?
Yes, to follow the last question regarding the trending song, how do you know which song is trending? Do they give you like the list of this is the trending song on TikTok right now?
They do. That's an excellent question, because when you look in, it'll say you can choose a song. And actually, I didn't use any songs in my videos because it was all just me talking.
Mm-hmm.
But people still say that it will help your post. And so when you click choose a song, it'll show you the trending songs. They'll have like a top 10 or something like that. And you can pick from there.
Okay. And the next question is, because right now I watch YouTube quite a lot too. And YouTube also have the YouTube short that is about 10 to 15 second video as well. So I don't know if you're familiar with YouTube short versus TikTok.
I am. I did it for a little bit, and well, I don't know enough about it to really make a statement, but I would say that YouTube is still one of the biggest platforms out there, and they pay their creators a lot. So if you can, I would absolutely try and post on YouTube Shorts as well. But it's probably a little different, the algorithm and how things work. And Instagram has their own reels and there's shorter clips of videos as well. Every platform kind of has that. Mm-hmm. So it is kind of, and each one is a little bit different. You just don't know which one is going to land. But I would say to, post on as many platforms as you can and see what sticks. But you do have to tweak your content just a little bit for each platform to make sure that it looks good to that platform.
And I believe you also see some of the YouTube video that, like, when you watch YouTube, and there will be one section that is pretty much just like TikTok video. It's like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So do you have any idea like how it feed from TikTok to YouTube that way, or people just upload the TikTok video on YouTube?
I don't quote me on this because I'm not as familiar with that section of YouTube, but I believe it's complete people uploading them completely separately, since TikTok is a different company than YouTube, and Google owns YouTube. So I don't think you can post to TikTok and then post directly to YouTube. You can post to Instagram. They allow that to be pretty easy.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Great question, Serena. And then let's see, you want to do Dr. Merkel, do you want to go next? And then Tennille will do you, and then Anthony.
Okay, so my question is, and forgive me if you said this already and I didn't catch it.
No,
How
go
do
ahead.
you relate your TikTok follower success to business success in terms of getting, having people pay for things and increasing your actual business?
Great question. Of course, a lot of people are asking that. They're saying, okay, I can have 1 million views on TikTok, but it hasn't done anything for me. And it all depends on what you're trying to sell, your business. So we actually have my company, Rollin and Bowlin, has a product, a frozen smoothie kit product that's in stores. And so we've been starting to do videos about that and saying, hey, this is located in Central Market in Texas. And so that could lead directly to sales in the stores, but it's really difficult to track. We also sell them online. So you can put a link on your website and your bio and your main page on TikTok. And you can say, go to my profile to see my website. And so if you make a really engaging video, like I did with my fun facts, and then in my bio where it has a little bit about me and my main page, I put my website and say, are you interested in growing TikTok? Then your TikTok, then here's where you can book a time with me or a consultation with me. People will see my viral video and then they'll say, who is this person? This was a good video. Then they go to my profile to view more videos. And then in my profile, it has my link to my website. And you can also write above the website, you can write whatever you want. You can say, here's my website below. If you want to grow your TikTok, then, click the website. Then people click the website, then they schedule a consultation there. And that's where I can actually see sales.
Okay, so it's like it's a direct or somewhat like what we would consider to be traditional sales, directing people to your product. Okay.
Exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I have just been told by a guru here where I am that all music, if you use under 30 seconds, is free to use.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Just
and
on
I don't know if
whatever
TikTok
platform.
is paying that. Or are you in general? Or is
In general,
Oh, that's good to know. Okay.
copyright free. That's what I was told. And I trust this
Yeah.
person. So
Good
it
to
may
know.
be
Good to
helpful
know.
to somebody to know this.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
absolutely.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And I know one thing with TikTok that I've seen recently is, so on other platforms, if you use music and it ends up having a copyright issue, I think the post gets taken down, but on TikTok, the music just gets taken away and your post can stay up. So that affects views a little bit differently. So if anything ever does happen with that sound bit, if that gets removed from the site, it doesn't affect your video. Your video will stay up. Just wanted to add that in. And
Yep,
let's see.
I do want to add to the point of how you can kind of redirect sales as well. So we've seen a lot of companies who will, similar to what I was saying, will say, hey, go to my bio to the link if you want to grow your TikTok. And then they go to that link in the bio or on my main profile page, and then it'll take them to an email newsletter they sign up for. And then you can gather their email, and maybe you don't get that sale right then and there, but then you have an email that you can put on your email list, or even a phone number for direct SMS marketing. And then you can kind of continue with that life cycle and try to make the sale at another time.
Awesome. And let's see, Justin, I saw you raise your hand. We have a couple people ahead of you, but if you're on a time crunch, let me know. I saw you come in and come out. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have time to wait?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Just wanted to make sure I know you were coming in and out of it. So
Thank you.
let's see. Okay, Tennille, I think you were up next, and then we'll have Anthony and then Justin.
Okay, I want to know, do you reply to the comments in, that in your feed?
Yeah, that's a really important question. That was one thing I prided myself on, was my engagement with my followers. So I responded to every single comment that was on my page, and it took a lot of time, and people were surprised when I responded. But and maybe there were some that had thousands and thousands and thousands of comments that I might have not gotten to all of them, but I tried to respond to every single one, and it was really important. And then also, when you post a TikTok, you can actually leave a comment yourself. And so I would leave a comment myself, and I'd ask a question. I'd say, for example, this person, Addison Ray, who's a TikTok influencer I did a video on, I would leave a comment saying, who else shares the same birthday as Addison? And then people would look at that comment and they would immediately respond to that and interact, which would build more comments, which would then help boost your post.
Mm-hmm. So I noticed that it seems like you post a lot of content that is not directly related to your product, but with the hopes of drawing it. So do you find that to be a part of your strategy instead of just constantly pushing your product?
Yeah, yes and no. To be honest, my TikTok didn't really help grow my other businesses, and I wasn't going in with that intention to. I was trying to just grow my personal brand.
Okay.
And just kind of have people understand that I'm an entrepreneur, and I might be doing, I didn't know, where I might be in 2 years from now, what I'm going to do, stuff like that. So I was just kind of growing my own personal brand. I brought up my business once in a couple of videos, and people were really supportive of it. But other than that, it was mainly just, for personal reasons.
Okay. And then last question, you said you had a content creator and a content editor. Is that the same company? And then, and how much did you say you paid per video? Was it $5 per video or $5 per?
I think it was $5 per video for both. If anyone wants, I'm happy to share those resources with you all. I had one video editor in Tunisia, and it's just a single video editor who's a student that I found on, a freelancing website. And then I had another one who was in England, and I think it was somewhere around $5 a video. I was spending like $200 to $300 a month for all this content.
Okay. But did they work together, or were they separate?
Oh, okay. They were separate. So I had a separate person who would write my scripts, and then a separate person who would edit them. And they weren't part of the same company or anything. They were on different sides of the world.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Great questions. Let's see. Anthony, go ahead.
Hey, do you think repurposing viral content that's relative to your niche is a good idea? Say, for example, I'm in real estate, and there's everything in real estate going on around the United States, but something that's viral that may be going to Colorado, maybe repurposing it and educating people here in Texas on similar situations, maybe in the hopes of going viral. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, and one, to be honest, that I've never tried to do that. I've never reposted a viral video under my own account, but I've seen a lot of people who do that, and they are successful. So I don't think it's a bad thing, if people, as long as you can get views for one video every so often, as long as you're not reposting everything, every single video, you have some original content, and then you can repost every so often. And that's just kind of a personal stance. I think you want to create your own content, and if you're reposting everything else, and people might not understand what your brand is.
Right, gotcha. So I was thinking of recreating it myself, like something going viral, somebody else doing it, not necessarily reposting theirs on my page, but recreating it from my point of view, relative to my region.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. There's that, that famous book called Steal Like an Artist. Not every idea is original. So absolutely. I mean, I would definitely do that. If I saw a video that went viral, I would think, how can I incorporate something from that video into my video?
Awesome. And so we have 4 more people. So let's see. I think Sam, I saw your hand. Anthony, I saw your hand. And then Tarnisha, I saw your raising your hand. So we'll do it in that order. But wonderful. Sam, we'll start with you.
Thanks. Just had a general comment also on music licensing, and this is kind of in my wheelhouse, so I felt the need to comment on it. I'm not trying to contradict anyone, but the 30-second rule that people talk about, that's kind of a urban legend, so to speak, in U.S. law. What the U.S. actually has is a concept called fair use of copyrights, and it's a highly complex area of law. It gets litigated all the time, and it's a there's a lot of different factors that go into the analysis, one of which being how much of the copyrighted work you've used, which is where this 30-second deal comes from. But there are cases where you can use an entire work and it can be fair use because you're commenting on it or critiquing it. Or you could use 15 seconds of a copyrighted work and it's not fair use because you're trying to make money off of it. So really the only 100% safe way to use a copyrighted song or copyrighted material in some kind of social media post, TikTok or otherwise, is to have the appropriate permissions and licenses.
That's great to know, Sam, because I will say on TikTok, like, you really don't have to worry about it. When you go on there, you choose a song, TikTok is doing all the legality behind the scenes with that, whether it's a musical group directly or some type of broker or something. But TikTok handles most of it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same thing if you go and buy an album or something like that, or I've just dated myself back in the day when people bought albums.
Yeah.
And truthfully, if it's a 15-second TikTok video that gets 50 views versus something that gets 50 million views, then the calculus is a little bit different. How widespread it is and whether or not it's having an impact on the creator's ability to market their product, which is the music itself, then that's what gets taken into consideration.
And one thing that I
highly complex area.
Yeah,
definitely. And I know we have a lot of Sam, I know that's your field, so I opened up the chat. If anybody has additional links or additional comments, we can definitely throw those in the chat right now for everybody to look at. It looks like we have 3 more questions raised, so I definitely want to get to those, and we have just about 2 minutes. So we'll go a little bit quicker for Anthony, Tarnisha, and then Serena. I see your hand raised again. So Anthony, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Tarnisha needed to ask a question. Her hand raise wasn't working, so go ahead, Tarnisha.
Okay, what a gentleman. Go ahead, Tarnisha.
Hello. So I have a t-shirt brand, and I was gonna do TikTok videos of like dancing to how they got the new little dances going on, dance challenges, and just to also kind of, because it's a Christian t-shirt brand, so I was gonna do like maybe talk about some scriptures or how I can relate. My question is, should I do each video with one of my shirts on, or is that a bit much, or is that the right thing to do to keep catching the people's eye, or what is your insight on that?
I would totally wear your shirt in every video. You may not have to address it in every video and say, hey, this is my shirt, buy it. but just wearing it in every single video, and as you grow just organically, that will be your look, and people will know you as, and then as you grow, people will say, hey, I like that shirt. And I forgot exactly how many views it takes for someone to actually, convert and make that sale. It's quite a bit. So I would say every opportunity that you get to put your shirt in front of people, absolutely do it. And you can even reach out to influencers who have millions of followers and send them a shirt and say, hey, wear it. This is, this is supported by, I don't know exactly what if there's a cause, or you said it was something to do with Christianity, then you can find those influencers who have a following that are Christian and, tell them to wear that shirt. And I think you can find some success there.
Okay, thank you.
But before we sign off, Austin, do you have anything else you want to say?
I do. Thank you so much, Devin, and for everyone for listening and for the thoughtful questions. The one thing I will say is get on TikTok and start posting, because we can have this conversation and everyone's going to be inspired, and then they're going to close their laptops or their phones and they're not going to do anything about it. And it's very intimidating. I mean, when I posted on TikTok for the first time, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't get the platform. I was like, why do I need another social media platform? But just do it and keep doing it and have that foresight and stay committed. And I guarantee you it will pay off. And it might take a week, it might take a month, it might take a year. But if you continue to go at it, it will pay off. And also, I would like to say, definitely follow Justin's YouTube channel, Instagram, everything, because he has some really great content.
Oh, Austin, you're too kind. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a very safe and healthy week. Austin, thank you.